Okay, welcome to Mr. Donlan's Maths live event. Okay, so that was Billie Eilish. Now we've had a little bit of an issue with the music, but we are allowed 30 seconds or less of music, so we're going to have to cut down a little bit on that. But yeah, fair use allows 30 seconds, so that's what we're going to do from now on. Keep it below 30 seconds and making comments about that. So the request was from Lydia Monk, so thank you for that request, Lydia. A nice little song there to kick us off this morning. So we're on circumference of circles. So yesterday we learnt about pi. We unlocked the myth of pi. But today we're going to look at how that's used in relation to circumference and just have a little sidetrack to start off with about parts of a circle. Okay, so let's just run over some revision first of all about circles, and then we'll move on to circumference. So the first thing is line across. Okay, type your answers into the comment box. What is that called? And have we got any offers? That's correct. It is a diameter. So all the way across is a diameter. So let's have a look at the halfway across now in a similar way. What's the name of that? Okay, so halfway across now I'm after. And just waiting for some answers to come through. And 3, 2, 1. Yep, that's correct. That is called a radius. Brilliant. Okay, so if we had a line going, we're just looking at the lines now, a line like that. A line like that next. So any offers? Thank you, Lydia, for radius. That's fantastic. And it's a chord, yeah. Now, it's not like chord as in kind of a stringy thing. It's with the H, okay? So chord, but in the actual area bit here is known as a segment. Segment, like that, okay. Segment. Okay. So going to the next circle down here, I'm going to make a kind of an area this time. You've got to think about an orange here. That's not quite right. It should go to there. Okay, a bit of a mistake there, but it should go to the middle. The middle. So these are two radiuses like we discussed before. So this area here now, we've had segment. So what's that area there going to be called? Just waiting for some answers to pop up on the comment box. And 3, 2, 1. It's a sector. Sector. Now, the way I remember this, they're both little areas here, segment and sector. That's a little area as well. Okay, so this area here is going to be called a sector, and the way I remember it is this little word here has got an R in, segment hasn't got an R in, R for radius. That's how I always remember it. Okay, and the last one is this kind of area here. Now I'll get a highlighter for this. Okay, so not an area. This is a curved part of the circle, a part of the circle, just a part of the circle on the outside. Little word. 3, 2, 1, and that's called an arc. A-R-C. Okay, A-R-C. So that leaves us with one more word, and that is the distance all the way around the circle. Okay, now that's not very good because that's too big, but you're getting the right idea. So if I measure the distance starting from there all the way round, back to the beginning again. Okay, the outside what I've put on is not very good because that's going to be bigger because it's outside. So let's concentrate on the actual circle. So the distance all the way around the circle back to the beginning, and that word there is going to be called a circumference, and that's what we're going to look at today. Now, yesterday we looked at measuring circles, and we particularly looked at the relationship of what pi is. So what I did is, just to recall, we measured the distance around the outside. I think I'll do this one more time. Let's take the circle at the top here. So what I did is I measured the circumference in a kind of estimating type way. So what I did is I got some string and I went around the outside like so, all the way around. So this is just an estimate, so it's not like mega accurate or anything, but it's just giving me a bit of a guideline. So following that round with the string, okay. And then what I looked at is the relationship between the distance around the outside, which is the circumference, of course, which is what we're learning about today, which is there, pinch that. Okay, and the relationship between that and the diameter, not the radius, the diameter. Okay, and the most amazing thing is it doesn't look very far there, but when you stretch it out, it's much further than you think. So, just getting that, just an estimate, remember. So that's 23.7 as an estimate, and the diameter is 7.2. So if I did 23.7, okay, on the calculator, 23.7, so that's the ratio between divided by 7.2, the ratio of the circumference with the diameter, okay, decimal mode 3.29. And what we found is that that number is always the same. The circumference, c, divided diameter is always the same number. That's obviously an estimate, but if we did it accurately using computer modeling, we always get this number 3.14. That's a really special number. Again, if we looked at the number of decimals there, increase the decimals, this pattern would never ever change. So that has been given a special name, and that's been called pi. 3.14. And notice lots of people have a little joke when you talk about pie, being like, oh yeah, pie and chips, steak and chips, all that kind of stuff. Okay, and it's got nothing to do with that. It's a separate word entirely, and it's spelt differently as well. And you know what? This is my favourite number of all, pi, 3.14. I find it fascinating. You know, and it doesn't matter how big the circle is. It can be a little tiny one like that. It can be a huge one. It can be the circle that's just on the top of a pin. It could be the circle around a whole town. It doesn't matter what it is. If you divide the circumference by the diameter, it's always going to give you this 3.14 number, which is fascinating. To me, that's the beauty of maths, you know, in a natural sense, natural form, that you can have all these complications and yet one single number that explains so much about circles. Right, okay, so let's move on to circumference. Now, we've done all the hard work, to be honest. We've just got to put this together. So I'm going to measure the radius. So I'm going to measure the radius to be 4 centimeters. Okay, so how are we going to use this relationship? Okay, well, the thing is, using this relationship now, if I want to know the circumference, I don't need to get the string out anymore. I don't need this string to measure that circumference. What I need to do is find the diameter. Okay, so the radius is 4, the diameter is 8. So that is 4 to the radius, and the diameter is going to be 8 centimeters. So let's remind ourselves how we find pi. So to get pi, we're going to do circumference divided by the diameter equals pi. So we know what that pi is, okay? And we also know what diameter is, okay? But before I move on, I'm going to look at that equation very carefully. So what we want to find here is we want to find circumference. We want to find the c. That's what we want to find. We want to find that value, that c. Okay, I'm just looking for my highlighter, which has disappeared. Yeah, where's that gone? Yeah. I just had it a minute ago. So, oh, I found another one. Let's go green. I'm going green. So that is what we need, the circumference. Okay, and we want circumference. We want C on its own. We don't want the D there. We don't want the diameter in that position. We need that D in the equation, but we don't want it in that position. So what we've got to do, now I would advise you at this stage to refer back to on the website to the famous equations live stream. So have a little look at that to see what we're going to do here. But I've got a divide by D. Okay, I want that D disappearing somewhere else. Okay, so if I want the opposite function of divide by D. So I'm just going to give you 30 seconds to tell me what I do next. Okay, what do I do next so that that D is no longer there? And it might be over here somewhere, but what function do I do? Divide by D, I want the reverse of that. Okay, answers on the comment box, please. Okay, just waiting for some answers to come in. So we want the reverse calculation of divide by D. Brilliant. Okay, so what we do now is we multiply both sides of that equation by D. Okay, so we times that by D and we times that by D. Okay, so if I times that by D and divide by D at the same time, what happens is these two values, they disappear. They cancel. A times D, divide by D makes 1. 1 lot of C is C, C on its own. And that is where that formula comes from, pi times D. A lot of people actually know that off by heart, but don't know where it's come from. Okay, now, there is another thing that a lot of teachers will teach this as another rule as well. Something to bear in mind. Now I always stick to that, but something to bear in mind. Okay, if we go back to this circle, we know that the D is the same as an R and an R. A 4 and a 4 makes 8. An R, a radius, and a radius makes 8. So we can just manipulate this to be 2 pi R. And that's another famous equation because 2 R's make a D, and it's exactly the same thing. So that's it, folks. That's all there is to it. So just to finish off, okay, what we want to do here is we want to work out the circumference of this circle. So actually, all we do now is use this formula. Circumference equals pi D, okay, and that's 3.14 because we know what pi is. It's the same every time, multiplied by 8. Okay, so on your calculator, 3.14 times 8. Okay, standard into decimal, 25.12. Now, those of you who watched the unlocking the pi stream yesterday will notice that pi does go on forever, so we're using 3.14. If we were to use the pi button, which is there, you can just about make it out. It's a bit blurry, sorry, but there is a pi button, so I'll need the shift first. So if we did shift and pi, in fact it leaves it as the pi symbol, multiplied by, we want an 8. Okay, 8 pi. Sometimes it's okay to leave it like that, especially a non-calculator question. But if you want the full answer, 25.13. Alright, so does it matter that we're using 3.14? No, because we only want 1 decimal place or 2 decimal places. Okay, and a good idea to just put in brackets that we're accurate to 2 decimal places. Okay, if I was using the other formula, 2 times pi 3.14 times 4, 2 pi r, using that formula, I'm going to get the same answer. Let's just give it a go. 2 times 3.14 times 4, and that's 25.12 as I said. Okay, so let's do a non-calculator version, and you can get this sometimes just to finish off. So there's my circle there. This is a non-accurate circle. So what I'm going to do now, a circle not to scale, 3.7 centimeters. This is a non-calculator question. Find the circumference of that circle, leaving your answer in the form of pi. So what do we do? Well, we do, first of all, it's a good idea to write down the formula. C equals pi d. Then what do we know? We know that the circumference is equal to 3.14, but it's a non-calculator, so I'm going to leave that as a symbol pi. We want to know the diameter. Okay, common misconception here is that you're going to put pi times 3.14 because you're not recognize that actually that is the radius. 3.7 is the radius, not the diameter. So we need two lots of 3.7, non-calculator. So what do we do? Double 3 makes 6, double 7 makes 1.4. Okay, or I could just do it like that, however you want to do it. 2 7s are 14. Okay, carry the 1, 2 3s are 6, add 1, 7.4. Double it. Napier's bones, whatever you feel is best to do. Okay, so all sorts of things going on here now. 2 Napier's bones, 2 7s are 14. Oh, getting lost a bit now. 14, 2 3s are 6. Okay, 7.4. Anyway, 7.4. All right. So that's nearly the answer done. That's a scribble. Ignore that. So the best way to write this out now is 7.4, and we want pi, 7.4 pi. Okay, it's just a neater way of writing that, but we must include the units as well. We're not area, so we're just centimeters. So you'd leave your answer like that. No need to get any further because it says leave your answer in the form of pi. And that's it for today, folks. So it's really easy to do. It's just once you know about the pi business, once you know about the connection between the ratio of the circumference and the diameter, all as you need to do is multiply pi and diameter together. So a lot of people think this is a difficult part of maths, and it is actually goes up to a grade C standard, but it's really easy. So that's it, folks, for today. So I'll leave you with a few minutes. Well, no, I'll leave you with 20 seconds. 10 to 20 seconds of Billie Eilish, okay, keeping it nice and short for copyright reasons. Just before I go, the next live stream will be on Thursday, and that will be area of a circle. Now, I would say that's a really good one to watch, so keep your eye on that. Area of circle for Thursday, 10 o'clock, okay. I'm getting lots and lots of people watching these videos, loads and loads, but I'm not getting as many as I want watching it at the live time. So pass that around, folks. I know I've got a few people turn up every Saturday, every 10 o'clock slot. But I need a few more people watching the live part so I can get some feedback off you. Okay, so don't just leave it to the posted video. Try and catch the live feed instead, and then we can have a few more people interacting with the discussions. That's it for tonight. Well, this morning, getting all mixed up. Okay, that's it for this morning, and I'll see you on Thursday. I'm in school tomorrow, so I won't be doing a live feed tomorrow. So Thursday will be my last one before Easter. Okay, and don't forget to be safe. Bye for now.